Now, back to Michael and Evo, winging it.
You'll recall, those of you who subscribe to both this show as well as Cover to Cover,
Sure.
that on Cover to Cover this week, I mentioned a book called Macrolife,
Right.
written by George Zebrowski.
Right.
And I had said that I wanted to have an in-depth conversation about some of the ideas and themes brought out by this book, but it would be too long to do on Cover to Cover. We could do an entire Cover to Cover on this.
So you decided you wanted to do it while we're drunk on this show.
But notice how early I'm doing it in the show. We're all on our first beer here. So
That's true.
I'll give you the broad brushstrokes of what the book is. First off, it was written in 1961 or something crazy like that.
Okay.
It was republished by Pyre recently. And it is one of the books that, if it wasn't science fiction, you'd be running around saying, this book changed my life. But it's sci-fi, and then you just sound like a dork when you say something like that.
Okay.
It deals with the idea and the concept that humans have reached a point in evolution where we need to do more. We need to basically get off the planet.
Okay.
And move out to the stars,
Okay.
because we're tied to this rock. It's not a question of if, it's a question of when the big meteor smacks into us.
Sure,
Or
sure.
when Yellowstone blows up again and wipes out 95% of the population. It's happened many times in the past. It'll happen again in the future. So at some point in time, you reach this concept of macrolife, where the individual humans are much like the individual cells in our body. Together, we create something bigger and broader. And its goal inside of macrolife is to leave the Earth.
Okay, sure.
And it's brought on by a big cataclysm that, sparks the whole idea of making is that, and instead of terraforming, which is where science fiction tends to go, when you terraform, all you're doing is moving to one more spot, which could blow up or be plummeled, by huge rocks from outer space at a given time. So the idea here is they take these asteroids and hollow them out and create these worlds. And they move around the solar system. And then they realize that, well, not only do we have to escape the Earth, we've got to escape the solar system, because there will reach a time when the sun is going to go nova.
Okay.
Right? We're going to grow big, huge, and it's going to swallow everything out to the radius of Neptune. So we've got to leave the solar system. Right? And so the book explores all this and do a really good job of doing it in how we change and progress. But the cool thing about this is it even talks about surviving the big, huge collapsar at the end of the universe, because that's the next thing that's going to happen, right? Everything's going to, according to the expand and contract theory, once gravity's going to reach a point where it's going to pull everything back inside. It's so friggin' cool.
Wow.
The concept that you can, and you know what? It sounds awfully damn plausible.